Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, it's Abdur-Rahim reporting to you live from the dunya. That's right, the dunya, but alhamdulillah, come with a beautiful reminder. But before we get into that, just make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It don't cost you anything to subscribe. Just click that red button below this video, and inshallah, we can get this thing going. I want to start with some Quran, a verse in the Quran, ayah from Surah 87, ayah 47, which says, A'udhu-billahi minash-shaytanir-rajim, Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim, Qad aflaha man tazakka. And then there's another ayah from Surah 91, ayahs 9 and 10, which says, Qad aflaha man zakaha. And both of these ayahs talk about purification. One, it says, successful, it has been translated to mean, successful is he who purifies himself, and the other one is, he indeed is successful who purifies it, meaning purifying the soul. Now, tazkiyah is a very important principle in Islam for our self-purification and getting one's self purified from all unrighteousness. And one of the first forms of, and most important forms of purification for the self is purifying oneself from shirk, from associating anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means no Trinity for the Christians out there. No saying that Jesus is God or feeling like Jesus is God and he has the type of power, authority, or anything for that matter has the type of power, authority that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. So when we talk about purifying ourselves from these things, it seems like a simple thing, but it's really more complex than it sounds, because a lot of people say, yo, I'm Muslim, I believe in Allah, and that's it, I don't associate partners with Allah. But that same person may get weak and play a lottery ticket, or you may see that person shooting dice, or you may see that person selling drugs or things of that nature, and that's really a form of in the sense of associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah is the provider. So when you understand that and you realize that and you don't associate anything with Allah, then you're not going to give anything that power to place money in your pocket. You're not going to say, well, I'm not going to get this money unless I get out here and get these drugs. Nah, because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who provides for everyone. You're not going to say, man, maybe I can play this lottery ticket and get some extra money. Nah, because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who provides for everyone. So you're going to realize that you can't get nothing from doing something that's haram. That's not to mean that you can't go out there. We know people go out there and sell drugs and make money, but what I'm saying is that that money was going to come to that person anyway. They just chose to get it in a haram manner. So that's the difference between the position of the Muslims, the ones who are really up on the deen and understand what shirk is and all the many aspects of it, versus a person who's unaware of these things. So when we talk about self-purification, we're talking about understanding that, getting that type of mentality out of our mind and out of our hearts, knowing that we rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. So when I do get weak, or when you do get weak in a moment of weakness, and you get the whisper from the shaitan saying, yo, it's getting tight out here, man, you need to go out here and get that bag, you need to make some money and shake something up, you need to make something happen. You need to shut that down, you know, shut that down right there, because you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides, and nothing has power over anything except Allah give it that power. So once again, you're not going to be able to earn anything or gain anything from doing something haram. Anything you gain from doing haram, that was something that was going to come your way anyway, but you kind of tainted it and made it impure by seeking it in a haram manner. So with that said, inshallah, in one of my next videos or later videos, we could get more into that form of purification, which is tawheed, you know, making sure that Allah is one, that our God is one, and that you understand that you accept that, and that you believe that, and that you act upon that and carry that out throughout your life and throughout your days, inshallah. The second form of tazkiyah that I want to kind of get into after that is purifying one's mind and one's heart from bad intentions, or having the correct intention as a Muslim or as a human being. And what I mean by this is, at some point in a man's or in a woman's life, you have to ask yourself, what am I living for? what am I living for? And you have to be honest with yourself when you ask that question, because it's easy to say, oh, I live for Allah. Oh, I live for this, I live for that. But a lot of us, we're living for different reasons. We're living for money, we're living for fame, we're living for enjoyment, we're living for dunya, we're living for all these other reasons, and it's kind of like we're not aware of it because we're telling ourselves, oh, I live for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But our actions are showing that we're living for something contrary or other than that, and it shouldn't be that way. Truthfully speaking, it takes a lot of work to get to the point where, and a lot of understanding to get to the point where your intentions are aligned with the Sunnah of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and with the Quran and with the Deen of Al-Islam. It takes some hard work. It takes some reflecting, and it takes some sincerity and some dedication. It's a ayat in the Quran that I like to share with you all from Surah 6, ayat 162, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Qul inna salati wa nusuki wa muhyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alameen." In this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say, indeed, my prayer, my sacrifice, my living and my dying are all for Allah, Lord of the worlds. This is a very, very, very important ayah, because in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He commands, He orders His messenger to tell the people that my prayer, my sacrifice, my living and my dying are all for Allah, Lord of the worlds. And this is the Sunnah. This is what we should be able to tell ourselves when we ask ourselves, what am I living for? I should be able to say, yo, my prayer, my sacrifice, my living and my dying is all for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I should be able to mean that sincerely, and I should be living that. And I admit, it's not easy. It's hard, but it's one of those hard steps that once you take that step and you get that in your heart and you get your intentions in line with that verse, it makes the rest of the religion super easy. Super easy, because if you don't get that intention in line with this verse, if you don't get your intentions in line with this verse, there's always going to be a conflict of interest inside of your heart. When it comes time to pray, something always going to pop up. Yo, man, you don't really got time to pray because you got to take care of this. You need to shoot this move. But when you understand that my prayer, my sacrifice, my living and my dying is all for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the worlds, then you know ain't nothing else important. Ain't nothing else more important than this prayer, because this is what I'm living for. So let me get my prayer in. You see what I'm saying? It makes everything simple. Simple things like growing a beard. The Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, trim the mustache, leave the beard. Now that's a hard thing. For me, it was very difficult, you know, because a lot of us think that if we don't have a beard, we not fly. You know, I mean, if we have the beard, we fly. You know, if we're not trimming everything up and keeping the face clean and everything, then we're not going to be fly. So it's difficult for some brothers to grow the beard. But it's a simple thing once you line your intentions up with that verse. Once you realize, yo, I'm living for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so now it ain't all that important. I'm going to grow my beard. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told the people to grow the beard. I'm going to grow the beard. And it's the same thing for the women with the hijab. You know, a lot of women, sisters out there, you know, you fly, your hair look good, you want to show your hair, you know, it's tough for you to put on the hijab, because your intentions aren't in line with this ayat that I'm discussing right now. Your intentions is something else, you know, on the low. You know, if you be honest with yourself, your intentions is something else. No, I just want to be able to look good and this, that, and the other. Okay, but what did Allah say about the hijab? So when you're living for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you know, man, this ain't no big thing. I'm going to cover my hair. I'm going to, you know, rock the hijab, the khimar, the niqab, whatever it is I got to do to please my Lord, because this is my purpose in life. This is why I'm living. I'm living for this and only this, so nothing else is alluring or appealing to me. So that's half the battle. And that's a beautiful thing. And it goes a step further to what you're surrounding yourself with, what you're putting into your mind, what you're taking in, what you're looking at, what you're talking about, what you're hearing. All these things can have an effect on your intentions. You know, you get to looking at the wrong things or taking in the wrong type of information, then you get to desiring different things. And slowly but surely, you'll find that tug of war between you, Your intentions to live for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and your intentions to live for other than that, to do other things that's pleasing to you. And it's tough. We know it's very, very tough. But the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the dunya is a prison for the believer. It's a prison for the believer because in this dunya, we're living according to these rules. We're living according to the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We're living according to that. So we got rules we got to follow. You know, I can't sleep until I get tired of sleeping. I got to wake up and offer the Fajr. Kufar, yeah, he can sleep, no conscience. He can sleep till he get tired of sleeping. He don't have to wake up for the Fajr. You know, it's obligatory upon him just like it's obligatory upon me, but he's not trying to honor that. He's living for a different reason. So this is the paradise of him. He's free to do, at least he thinks, that he's free to do whatever it is that he wants to do. He or she, they don't have no belief, they're free to do whatever it is they want to do. And that seems like a good thing. But it's not, because consequences still come with that, and the most disastrous consequence that come with that is on the day of judgment, you show up bankrupt and you find yourself in a fire. But with the Muslims, the dunya is a prison for us, so we're restricted. There's a lot of things that we can't do, but these things aren't like we're missing out on something good. No, we're being protected on something that's bad in the form of good. It shows up in appearance as good, but really we know it's bad for us, it's evil for us, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to restrict us from doing something that's good for us. That's a part of that first form of purification. That first form of realizing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control of everything. He knows everything. He's all wise. He created everything, so he knows what's good for the human being. And what he prescribed for you in his book, in the Quran, and in the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are all the things that's good for you. So when you understand that, you realize, oh, even though I can't do certain things that I see other people doing who don't believe the things that I believe, I'm not missing out on anything. They're not doing anything but hurting themselves. They may be laughing about it and smiling about it and feeling good about it at the time, but in reality, it's not something that's going to benefit them in the long run. And we understand that. So just having that understanding and being able to put that understanding in line with your intentions for why you're living and why you do the things that you do, it makes it easier, it makes your burden lighter, and it makes your days go by a lot smoother. And most of all, it brings that tranquility to the heart. You know, people out here having heart attacks every day. Why are they having heart attacks every day? Because they're not living properly. A lot of times people say, it's what you eat. You're eating this, you're eating that. You need to stop smoking those cigarettes, you need to stop doing that. Well, it's people who eat pork and they live to be 100 years old. It's people who smoke cigarettes and they live to be 100 years old. So we can't say that it's what they're eating and what they're doing, other than the fact that they're not acknowledging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're not doing the things that the human being was created to do. They're not purifying themselves by offering the prayer 5 times a day, which would seem like a difficult thing. But once again, if you're living for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's a simple thing. That's a simple thing to say, you know what, hold up man, I gotta go over here and I gotta pray. Because this is what my Lord ordered me to do, and this is one of the things that my Lord created me for. So inshallah, we'll benefit from this little short talk. And if you like this talk, once again, if you like the content of it, once again, like and subscribe to this channel, because we're going to cover more of this. To all my brothers that's in the feds, all my brothers that's in tough situations, wherever you may be, I'm out here for you. We're praying. You guys keep praying and offering dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and just make the most of your situation and use that time to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep me in your dua. Keep sending me the texts and the emails and hit me up on the phone and giving me inspiration. And you know I'm here for you in whatever way I can be here for you, because absolutely I'm one of them brothers who understand that when we talk about tightening up the ranks in the prayer, it's not just about having my shoulder and my heel connected with the shoulder and the heels of the brothers that's on the side of me. It's not just about that. That's just a form of an example of how tight we should be, even when we're in the dunya, on the battlefield. Maybe you're not present with me, but my shoulder is still next to your shoulder. My heel is still, we still heel to heel. You know, we're still connected. We're still united under the banner of Islam. And it's time that we realize that, and it's time that we start making sure our prayer, our sacrifice, our living, and our dying is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so we can put aside all this other foolishness and bickering and these things that separate and divide the Muslims and divide the ranks. We need to be able to be close to each other, not just in the prayer, but especially in the prayer. But we need to be close to each other in this world too, in this dunya, supporting each other, coming together, doing the things that we need to do to promulgate this religion and make Islam and the Muslims strong again. Inshallah, Allah will aid us in that. May Allah make it easy for every one of us to do those things that He has made obligatory upon us. And may you all have an awesome day. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.